almost like a set track here. Make sure my wax is working pretty good for November. Little red wax in November, that's not exactly what's the ideal situation. Guess I'm not going to need those for a while. My history as a cross-country skier in Aspen started in the late 60s when we skied from Aspen to Crested Butte with Lars Larson, the original cross-country skier here, and with old modified alpine equipment all the way to Crested Butte. And then from there, in 1970, we skied from Vail Pass to Aspen, 4 days, 3 nights, and camped out for 3 nights, just like the old 10th Mountain guys. Lars said, oh, next time we'll do it in 3 days and 2 nights. I said, no, Lars, next time we'll do it in 5 days and 4 nights. In 1972, we skied from Denver to Aspen to start the Winter Skull Parade.
Jim and Faye Ward have made many appearances at Winter Skull and Independence Day parades over 38 years. Their enthusiasm for life in Aspen comes from being brought up in a close-knit Midwestern town.
This is a picture of my mother and father in about 1930, about the time they were married at age 30. They had met at University of Minnesota Farm School. He had been a potato farmer and raised sheep in the wintertime. She was raised in St. Paul. They settled in Aspen, Minnesota, which is a suburb just about 15 miles north of Minneapolis. It was a farm town, great for raising potatoes. I was born in 1935. Right in the middle of the Depression. At that point, my father, I think, was doing miscellaneous jobs. He'd gotten out of the farming business, and he started as an electrician. Subsequently, had some influence on me. This is a great shot of the whole class. There I am. There's my cousin. There's my first girlfriend. There's my current wife, who was in the 2nd grade with me.
You talk about all your old girlfriends? Those are all my old boyfriends.
Yeah. It's great being able to associate with some of the same people also from this class that are still good friends, 60 years later.
Jim was a natural athlete. Like most Minnesota kids, he loved winter.
We had a hill right in our yard, right behind our house. There was a hill with oak trees. We were all on toboggans, enjoying the toboggans, right down next to the snow. And we had this one friend, and he was on skis. I'm sure they were the old white army skis with the hole in the tip. And we thought at that time he was a little weird. Yeah, he was one of Faye's boyfriends, in high school.
Maybe it was for Faye's affections that Jim took up skiing.
I remember skiing at Theodore Wirth Park, standing at the top of this one hill, little rope tow, and I bet I was there 10 minutes getting up courage to ski down this little hill. It was 20 seconds to the top, 20 seconds down, 20 seconds through the maze to the rope tow. It was a 1-minute round trip thing.
Jim was captain of the basketball team, and he played football and baseball. Being a self-effacing Midwesterner, he doesn't let on that he had talent.
I was a lousy hitter. I was, played first base, but we had a new stadium with lights put in right after the war, and we had a one-night game, and I was batting 9th, but under the lights, when the people from town were there, I hit a home run. I got it way out in the left field. It got caught in the grass next to the fence, I think, and got lost for just long enough for me to make it all the way around.
At least on this night, Jim was a baseball star, and Faye was a cheerleader and homecoming queen. They dated through college, then married in 1957.
We got married the end of December and celebrated New Year's in the middle of Montana someplace on our way to Sun Valley.
It was in Sun Valley that they fell in love with the mountains and threw themselves into the skiing lifestyle. Skiing was a romantic duet featuring Faye's style and grace and Jim's enthusiasm. After Sun Valley, they settled in Denver. On a weekend ski trip to Aspen, Faye was reminded of a European village, and Jim discovered the great skiing on Dipsy Doodle. They didn't return for 6 years, but in 1964 they finally moved to Aspen with their first daughter, Kimberly. Jim became known for his tireless involvement with the ski club and mountain rescue, and Faye for her skill at organizing fundraisers.
Right off the bat, through the community church, it was, couples club, it was the house and garden tour, it was, fundraisers with meals.
We're so happy that we actually found Aspen. Does it fit our lifestyle?
She was involved with the Teen Center, the Girl Scouts, the 4-H, the Cub Scouts, all those kind of things.
Jim worked all over Colorado as an electrician on large projects. He was the lead electrician on the renovation of the Wheeler Opera House. In the late 60s, Jim and Faye worked at the Ashcrofters camps and helped create the Aspen School's outdoor ed program. For decades, they guided groups of local students through the wilderness. Aspen kids carry those experiences with them into adulthood.
Half of them talk about it at graduation. They talk about their 8th grade outdoor ed trip to the Outward Bound School over by Marble.
In addition to Jim's ski treks to Crested Butte and Vail the hard way, his adventures outside the valley include a pioneering ski trek to the Himalaya and running the rapids of the Grand Canyon in a replica of Major Powell's boat. Jim will tell you he's also skied around the world 3 times in a sub-zero race at the South Pole. Jim's love of Nordic skiing led to the creation of Aspen's Silver Boom cross-country race, the founding of Aspen's only exclusively cross-country ski shop with Chuck Fothergill, and work with Fritz Benedict, locating trails and building sites for the 10th Mountain Hut System. The Ward family continues to help maintain the huts.
We're proud to be part of this town, We're proud to have been here for 38 years and been involved in all this, all the activities that happen here, and knowing the people that we've known here.
The most special thing about being in Aspen is the people that live here and the interaction you have with those people. Make a very exciting life because everybody's pretty darn adventurous that live in Aspen.
Aspen Hall of Fame salutes Jim and Faye Ward, who've given so much of themselves to our community.